Hello. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to use Dreamweaver or any other HTML editing program to format your stuff into BBCode like I do. This definitely is not necessary, but it makes my life 10 times easier when I have 20 million classes and I don't want to have to hand format them all on RPN. I have put together a little design here. We're going to basically be formatting this in Dreamweaver. If you have any other HTML software, use that. There's Composer, there's Amari, I think there's one. There are a bunch of different HTML editors out of there. A bunch of different HTML editors out there. You don't have to pay 300 bucks for Dreamweaver. Not worth it. It does what every editor does. I'm talking really quick because there's a lot to do in a short amount of time. So let's just go ahead and get started. I made this as kind of a template. I'm gonna have to hand code the box shadows and a lot of the colors myself. So let's get going. Last time I showed you guys how to export all this shit. Excuse my language. um, we're just gonna go ahead and copy that. And in our Dreamweaver program or whatever program you're using, we're just gonna make a new HTML document. Our CSS is going to go in a style tag, much like how it does in BBCode. If you're just editing a div, gonna paste that. Let's go down. As you can see, I have a lot of classes. Gonna go down to the body, back, and copy the markup. It copies it automatically. Let's drop it in there. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff that we don't need. So we're just going to wait, before we do that, let's look at what it looks like. Okay, so it kind of got it right. Not exactly, but kind of. Um, we're going to, for reference, this is what it looks like. um, Dreamweaver does this. It does this quite often. Um, it just doesn't format things properly, so we're gonna fix that. But first, let's get rid of all this junk which we can't use in BBCode. Um, Between these SVG classes, we're going to get rid of everything that's there. Can't use any of it. So let's just go ahead and cut all of that. And this is probably going to end up being two parts because there's just so much to edit, so much to like test back and forth. If it is two parts, I'll try not to rush as much. Actually, let's just do that. Let's just make it two parts and I just won't rush. That'll probably be better for you guys. Um, okay, let's get going here. I'm not going to be showing you guys how to do the scripting in this one, just because that's a whole other beast to tackle. But if you want a video on that, I will definitely make that a video. Um, so, as you can see, we have a bunch of SVGs, which we don't want. So we're going to Control F, hit this little arrow down here, which is to find and replace. Let's change SVG to div and hit replace all. So now, if you look, it replaced all of our SVGs into divs. This is what I mean by when I say Dreamweaver is extremely convenient. Okay, last time we also looked at this junk here, which we don't need, so we're cutting all that. Oh, didn't like that. There we go. We also don't need this little guy right here. And what else? We're going to, oh yeah, so last time, as you can see, I have a lot of drop shadows. Where is it? In here, I have a whole bunch of drop shadows, just on a bunch of things, except these main squares here. Squares. Rectangles. I can speak English, I promise. Um, and when you do that, Adobe XD gives you this little ID tag, which formats it for you, which, as you can see, Dreamweaver, well, you can't see it anymore, but as you will see in a bit, Dreamweaver didn't like that. So we're going to cut all these IDs and we're going to drop them into our classes ourselves. This is a very tedious process. I probably should have sped this up digitally, but I'm lazy, so I'm not going to be doing that. Oh, stop that, Cliff. Okay, and that should be all of our IDs. Let's change this ID into a class. Let's change this ID into a class. If you aren't familiar with HTML, I do recommend researching a little bit on it, just figuring out how to format classes. In HTML, you always start classes with this little dot and then the name and open brackets. And down here, when you're instantiating divs, you have to use angle brackets and you have to use quotation marks when you're saying what your class name is. So let's head back up here. As you can see, we have nothing. First things first, let's edit our background to be relative so that it can shift in the screen. We aren't set with one position. We're gonna go margin auto so that it is in the Okay, we're gonna go margin right auto and margin left auto. That should, you know what, we're not even gonna worry about it. It's fine. Get rid of this guy right here because we have background and background color. We just need background color. We don't need both of those. We're going to need, you don't technically need to do this, but for consistency's sake, I like to switch the RGBA values into their corresponding hex values, which we actually don't need that because I'm making the background transparent. So let's get rid of that. Now our title I have as this guy right here. Our background color is going to be that green color. I just copy pasted this hex code right here. Control C. And let's go background color. This is probably going to end up being 3 parts if I'm being totally honest with you. You're going to go color, which sets the font color. We're going to make it white. Text align left. Aligns it to the left. I think I made it bold, so let's go font weight. The font weight tag, as you can see, it comes up with these 100 values. They basically just tell you how bold they are. 400 is your normal weight, and 700 is bold. So let's go with that. Line height. It's only one line, so you don't technically need to put the line height, but since I want it to be centered in the block, if you make your line height bigger or equal to the height of your block, it aligns your text for you. So let's put that there. And a font size. We did not make one, so what font size did I have before I deleted it? We're just gonna wing it. 25 it is. Let's put some text in here and see if that did anything. That was what I named it. Cool. We did not create a font, but we'll do that in our BBCode. Next, we have, we wanted to put a padding as well. Padding basically creates a little bit of space between the edge of the box and your text. Let's go 5 pixels. Our pane is this guy on the left. We're going to, I completely lost what I was going to say. Oh yeah, we're just going to set that background. I don't know what I was looking for there. That background color is this guy right here, just copy pasting that. Background, that's not how you spell background, but it's fine. We have autofill for us. Another great feature of Dreamweaver. Background color. I should have made it show up. There you go. And are there any other properties to that? I don't think there are. So that's good. Let's make our little picture circles. So we're going to go here. I just copy pasted the background color. Just copied, not pasted. The circles are technically rectangles on the page. So once we enter our background color, that's correct, yes. It's going to show up as a square. So in order to make that a circle, we're going to set our border radius to 200. Why not? And it's a circle now. We're going to add a border onto that, which is this cute little color. I'm going to copy paste that. Border, the first variable is just how thick you want it to be. I think I made it 10 pixels. Second is going to be what style of line you want. I always make it solid. And the third is going to be your color. So now we have that, which is disgusting, but you know, we'll fix it. We're going to just do the same for all of them, except I have them as alternating colors, so we'll do that once we have it all copy pasted. And I'm going really quickly. I'm sorry, I just don't want to make 10 videos. It's just going to take all night. These ones are this nice green color. Get rid of that extra pound sign. And no, not pick 3. Pick 4 is what we want. These are going to be pictures. I just filled them with black for while I'm figuring out which pictures I want to put in. Because I haven't decided yet. It's probably just going to be stock photos of espresso. So, yep, we'll fix those in a little bit. Let's set our circles on the right. Shut up, Shruti. That was so aggressive. I'm so sorry. This guy is that color. I'm going to do all the box shadows after. I just don't feel like doing them right now. I don't know why I get really annoyed by them. Same deal here. We need to add a border radius of something larger than the width and height. So let's go 200 again. There you go. Copy paste that. I have about 2 minutes before my screen recorder cuts me off because I'm cheap and using a free one. So let's finish this up. If you have questions about anything that I'm doing that I'm not reading out loud, just let me know. They're almost all just like keyboard commands. I'm trying not to use too many of them because you can't see that, obviously. But yeah, it just makes things quicker. These are going to be the same deal. Let's actually just go ahead and copy paste this guy right down here because these are all the same. These are all our little buttons that will tab between the page. We don't actually need these transform properties. That was when I was messing around in the program to try and get them all to be even, which is why you have these ugly decimal numbers. Wow, that's not right, but you know, it's fine. We'll fix it in the next one. And this is why I like to put things in Dreamweaver before I drop them into BBCode, because it's just such a hassle to deal with all this when you can't visualize it live. I'll wrap this up here for now. Part 2 in a second. See ya.